Hello Political Science 290 students, welcome back to the second video in this series of videos that we have created to help you complete your assignments for this course. So if you haven't already watched the video on finding policy journals or policy magazines, go ahead and watch that one first, because we're going to be working from the same guide we navigate to there. So in this video, we're going to talk about how you're going to find think tank reports. So a think tank is a research organization that performs research and advocacy concerning political strategy, social policy, economics, and other topics. And the thing about these institutes or organizations or foundations is that there's usually a political bias or agenda that drives their research. So something important to understand about most research is that people are working from a bias point or a viewpoint. And the most important thing when using their research is to be aware of it and to be critical of the data that they are using, the information they're citing, and making sure it's as objective as it can be. And for assignments that you're working on, particularly in this class, you're going to be asked to find certain viewpoints and the research that they are doing to prove the validity of that viewpoint. So to find your think tank reports, you're going to go ahead and click on this Harvard think tank search. There are other ways we're going to talk about, but I just think this is the best way to start off. So let's go ahead and click on that. So this was a database custom created by librarians at Harvard, and it's just a bunch of think tanks pulled together that you can search. So I'm going to search the same topic we looked at in the previous video, Medicare for All, and it's going to bring up some results on a Google page. So you can, skim your titles, you can look at keywords they're using in their descriptions, but to find out what the viewpoint's going to be, you're going to want to click on one. So I clicked on one, How Medicare for All Harms Working Americans. So I can kind of infer what the political viewpoint of this publication might be, but I'm going to want to look into it myself. So one thing is you can go to their About page. So that's About Heritage up here. It's going to tell you a little bit about its history, what matters to them, and here we go. We find that the Heritage Foundation has been a bastion of American conservative movement. Yes, so it's a conservative source. So another thing you can do is you can search the Heritage Foundation in Google. All right, and it's going to pull up that box on the right again and tell us that political alignment. So that's how you're going to figure that out. Again, be proactive researchers. If you go back to the library guide, I want you to think about these kinds of questions. What other issues do they research? Do the policies and solutions they propose have a similar theme? Who heads the organization? What is their background? Who are their major donors? And again, just being aware of those overt political leanings. So these are just things that you need to be aware of when you're evaluating these sources for the assignment, but also whenever you're evaluating any information. There's another link underneath the Harvard think tank search here that is the 50 most influential think tanks in the United States. So if you go ahead and click on that one, this is a great resource if you don't have a certain viewpoint that you want to have a publication from that. So let's say I'm really missing out on a liberal viewpoint. I can scroll through these influential think tanks, read about them, and then it's going to tell me their political orientation. So this one's independent. I can keep scrolling down. This one's centrist. There's the Heritage Foundation we just looked at. And here we go. This Human Rights Watch is considered to be a liberal think tank. So I could click on that and search for information about Medicare for All. And it will load eventually. But it's always important to think about your topic too, right? So Medicare for All is a left argument, but it's actually pretty dang left. So maybe even more than liberal, I would say, looking for something that's a democratic socialist like we were looking at in the last video. But this is just a quick illustration of that. So you're going to maybe look a little bit more behind the scenes. Look at that About page in depth. Do some Google searching and click on a lot of links to figure out more about these think tanks and understand the point of view they're coming from, because that's going to help you conduct better research and write a better paper. But like I said in the last video, if you have any questions about this, feel free to email me or contact me, and I'm even happy to meet over Google Meet or WebEx. Just let me know, and good luck with the think tanks.